Hi everybody, welcome back to Meadow Green Farm. Thank you for joining us today. So we're out here once again trying to clear some fence line. So the fence line that you see right behind me is about 50 feet long. It's got some bigger trees in it, and I have somebody coming in 2 days to help me clear out these bigger trees that my tractor is just too small to handle. So what we're doing today is we're actually prepping for him to come. He's going to be coming over here with a loader, and we don't want to damage his equipment in any way. So I need to take all the T-posts, the field fencing, and the barbed wire out of this fence line in preparation for his arrival. And this is actually a fence row that we cleaned about 2 years ago, but it took about 2 years for everything to grow about 15 feet tall again on us. So we're going to clean this out once and for all. He's going to be taking out all the roots and everything so that nothing comes back. I've talked about this fence row before. I've mentioned the fence row up by our barn and how I wanted to get that cleaned out before we start rebuilding our new fence lines, because this piece of fence line is actually going to be inside of the paddock, and what I don't want to do is have to come in here when all of our nice new brand new fencing is all set up and risk dropping a tree on that fence line or hitting it with the tractor or anything like that. So we want to clear this out really good before we start setting up our new fence line. And the other reason is that this slope right here is actually quite a significant drop off, and it is eroding. So what I need to do is actually level it out a little bit more, make it less dramatic of a slope, and then we need to get some seed down. So we need to clear it out, level it out, and then seed it. I often wonder sometimes how people do this kind of work without a tractor. It is just brutal going without a piece of equipment that can just pull the fence line out like that and make short work of it. Especially the T-posts. Some of these T-posts have roots that are grown over the actual plate at the bottom of the T-post, and once that happens, good luck getting them out by hand. If you are doing it without a tractor, then Godspeed. If you have a homestead, you definitely should have a small compact tractor. I had somebody on one of our other fence cleaning videos ask, why are we going through all the trouble to clean these fence lines? Why not just leave them? Well, this is why. So this tree right here is just engulfing this T-post, the wire, to the point where it's pulled it right out of the ground. So if you put cattle in here and they start pushing on this fence line, that T-post is going to pop out, fence is going to go down, and you're done. That cow is out. So this is why we're doing it. We need to set up all new fence lines. We want high tensile electric, not this field fence. This stuff right here is extremely hard to maintain. It may be good for sheep and goats, but for cattle, high tensile is definitely the way to go. I also do want to make a point that we are not cleaning out all of our fence lines. We're just cleaning out the fence lines that we need to put up the new stuff. So we are keeping some of our fence lines. In fact, I want to keep some of the old fence lines that are kind of dilapidated and overgrown, because we have birds and stuff around here in East Tennessee that actually reproduce and live in those fence lines. That's where they go to be safe. They don't go out in the woods, they solely stick to the fence line. So we try our best to leave what we can, and to also leave brush piles hanging around on the property in a place where they can just decompose, and eventually it'll return to the ground. But it gives those birds and those animals someplace safe to stay. Alrighty, so we got all the fencing out, all the barbed wire out. Got a couple of T-posts, but I got 2 T-posts and a railroad tie we got to take out, and then we're done. Then we can bring in the heavy equipment. So people might think I'm a little crazy, but this is actually what I do with everything when I tear it out. We spool up all the devil's wire right there. It makes it easy to move. We keep all the T-posts right here. We're actually going to reuse these in the new fence line. They're good. They just look old, but they're nice and sturdy. Can't beat the old T-posts. The steel is much, much better than the stuff that you get nowadays at Lowe's. We also stack all this. You saw me kind of folding it over and pinching it and folding and pinching. I like to keep it in nice little like 4x4 stacks like this. Makes it really easy to move around with the forks on the tractor. Eventually what I do is we light a fire. When we burn some brush, I bring this over before we light the fire, and I throw this right on top of the burn pile and it burns out all the brush. That way when we bring it to the scrapyard, it's just bare steel. All right, so we got the bucket back on the tractor and we got that all put away. We needed the bucket back on here because we're cleaning out the farrowing stall in preparation for our farrowing in April. So that's back on there. Now we can get everything cleared out and kind of fill some of the holes and stuff that are inside the farrowing pens with a little bit of dirt. So we got a bunch of clay, a banking that we take clay out of. I'm gonna have to grab a couple scoops of that and put it in the farrowing stalls because the little piglets, as they got bigger, were starting to root everywhere. They uprooted a couple of the posts for the wall. Now the wall is kind of a little wobbly where the door is. So I gotta kind of backfill that, shore that up, fill another hole that's in there, level it out a little bit, and then we're going to work on building another farrowing stall. So I'm going to see you in a few days when Cody is here with the loader. I can't wait. I'm excited. We'll see you in a bit. Well guys, it's been a couple weeks since we cleared the metal out of this fence line, and Cody did come up and we got a little sidetracked. We actually planned something super epic for our channel, actually for our farm in general. It's something that I thought we were going to do maybe next year or the year after, but the opportunity presented itself and it's just too good to pass up. So we're going to be doing that next weekend. You're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to completely change how this farm is laid out in the face of our farm. So I'm super excited about that. But anyways, we did take all the metal out of here. As you can see, everything's leafed out. Begs the question, well, how did it leaf out so fast? Well, this is part of my problem that I'm having with our YouTube channel right now. And I hope you guys can understand, being on a farm, nothing ever happens to plan, right? So when I set out to shoot videos, it's very rare that I get to shoot all the content on one specific subject, all in one shot, and put it all in one video. It's very rare. Usually our day consists of bouncing around, fixing this, doing that, bringing in animals, just taking care of everything, working on this project, a little bit of that, whatever the weather can cooperate with us. We try to do our stuff outside. Anyways, so our videos have been kind of bouncing around a lot. I have a ton of footage on our library, and Gabrielle's got a ton of footage of the garden that we want to show you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get all of our videos caught up to present day. So right now I'm a couple weeks behind on the farm, and I don't like that. I want you guys to be seeing exactly what's happening on our farm right now. So we might be switching to, I'm going to try and switch to 2 days a week, 2 videos a week. We're going to try and do that again. We used to do that when I was working at home. It was a lot easier, but it's not so easy these days. So I'm going to try and do 2 videos a week. We're going to try and get our library caught up. That way you guys can see what's going on. And if you want current events, check out our Facebook page. The link is down in the description below. It's the same link that was on the beginning of this video, but I'll post the link down below. You can check out our Facebook page. We always have current event stuff on there. We post some funny stuff and whatnot, but it's usually our day-to-day farm stuff. So if you're interested in that, check it out. But anyways, we're going to try and get the library caught up and try and get you guys caught up to real time. Anyways, behind me, we got everything cleared out. Last week's video, we were setting up the farrowing stall. So you got to see a little bit of that. That actually transpired a couple weeks ago. So let me go show you exactly what we got going on in the barn. In here, Miss Reba gave us her first Pharaoh. So she's got 2 little piglets in here. So over here on the right, that is a gilt. She's got mostly white on her face. And then the one that's nursing is a boar. So you're probably asking the $1,000,000 question. Why does Reba only have 2 piglets? That's a great question. Once again, we had a hard lesson given to us, another one in the life of farming. She had 5 piglets. We had 2 stillborn, one was malformed. It was never formed into a piglet. I think the technical term is, it might possibly be a uterine abortion or something like that, but it never formed into a piglet. She passed it with the afterbirth, but she did have 2 healthy piglets. We do have Loretta farrowing in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I'm not exactly sure the date that she's expected on that one. I know what day we put her in with Doc and Reba, but I don't know what day she went into heat. So we're planning about 2 weeks, but we should have another farrow. But in the meantime, I'm going to get caught up on our video library, like I said before. I've got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna get back down the house and start doing that. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button for us. It does help us out a lot. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments and I'll get right back to you. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Until next time, have a great day.